Hello, everybody. This is Angel Ribo with Expansion Network from the US. As you know, Expansion Network, our mission is to accelerate the consciousness of humanity. And we are yet again, one more time with Christina von Dreien and with Nicola. Nicola and Christina, welcome to Expansion Network yet again.
Hello, Angel. We're very pleased to meet you again. And yes, hello, Christina. Want to say hello?
Hello.
Hey. Angel, are you here?
Jeg ser den gerne ikke med. Vi kører den her nyt.
We can't hear you, Angel. We don't see you. We don't hear you.
Okay, it was my fault. Sorry about that. So here I am. Okay. I don't know exactly.
Hello, a second time.
Exactly. I don't know exactly what happened, but anyway, here we are. And as it happened last week, this is going to be both, English and German, a conversation. I know that Nicola and Christina are today in Germany, right? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, good.
Just arrived just 2 minutes ago after an amazing drive.
Okay, good. It's awesome. They had an amazing drive, and that's wonderful. And here from the US, so here we are. And we call the conversation this week like Love Fridays, right? So it's going to be a place on Friday, every single Friday, where Christina and Nicola is going to obviously help us as she did last week. She's going to help us with with the translation. And we're going to talk about love, because we believe that love is really the answer. Love is the answer for lots of many different things that are happening in the world today, right? And so obviously, as I was saying before, thank you very much for being back here. And so first question, maybe, why is love so much needed in the world today, Christina?
Warum braucht es die Liebe heute so ganz besonders stark in der Welt?
Weil ja eigentlich alles, was hier auf der Erde aus der Harmonie ist,
because everything that's out of harmony here on earth,
das ist ja nur, weil dort Liebe fehlt.
It's only because love is missing.
Okay, do you think that we are fully aware that love is missing? Do you think that normal people on the streets, they know that love is missing?
Glaubst du, dass die Durchschnittsmenschen auf der Straße wissen, dass es daran liegt, dass die Liebe fehlt?
Ich glaube nicht alle. Ich denke, dass viele Menschen irgendwie das Gefühl haben, dass es halt gewisse Dinge einfach auf der Erde gibt.
I don't think everybody knows that. I think many people have the opinion that certain things are just the way they are on Earth.
Okay. And so is there something that we do as human beings that take us away from love? Is there some changes that we could do in our lives so that love is back fully into our daily lives?
Gibt es Dinge, die wir wirklich ändern können, also was du den Menschen sagen kannst, so dass die Liebe wieder mehr ins Alltagsleben zurückkommt?
Wenn wir uns mit unserem Herzen verbinden und unserer Seele, dann kommen wir automatisch wieder mehr mit der Liebe in Kontakt, weil die ist ja in jedem von uns, und wenn wir die nicht mehr fühlen können, dann liegt das nur daran, dass wir gewisse Glaubenssätze und Vorstellungen haben.
If we come back into, sorry, Christina, if we come back into contact, if we make contact with the love inside, we have to do that again and again, because otherwise we don't feel it anymore, because it's blocked off by all our beliefs and our certain blockages we have.
Und jeder hat ja diese Liebe in sich.
And everybody has this love inside of himself.
Und wenn man die nicht mehr spürt, dann gibt es eben einfach Glaubenssätze und Blockaden, die das verhindern, dass man das fühlt.
And if you don't feel it anymore, it's because of some beliefs and blockages that we are not able to feel it anymore.
When you wake up in the morning, do you typically have a specific feeling? Do you feel like, what am I going to do with the world, in the world today? How do you feel when you wake up?
Wenn du morgens aufwachst, gibt es dann so Momente, wo du dir sagst, oh Gott, was mache ich heute mit der Welt? Oder was kann ich heute für die Welt tun? Was machst du, wenn du morgens aufwachst?
Das ist verschieden. Also ich denke, das, was wir immer tun können, ist, dass wir uns einfach daran erinnern, dass das ganze Chaos, in dem wir jetzt sind, dass das ja nur eine Phase ist.
It's all different. I think it's so important that we keep remembering that all the things we are in at the moment, it's just a phase.
A phase?
A Phase.
Ach so.
Exactly. I think it's important too. And I think that this phase, this stage that we are in, there's probably a reason why this is happening, right? Do you yourself wonder why this phase is happening right now, Christina?
Wunderst du dich manchmal oder stellst du dir die Frage, warum diese Phase jetzt gerade geschieht?
Also warum diese Phase geschieht? Also es gibt ja Strukturen auf der Erde, die haben diese Phase bewusst herbeigeführt für ihre Pläne.
There are structures on this earth that have sort of inducted this phase for their plans. They have created all this to realize their plans.
Und eigentlich, also ganz so also die Wurzel von dem ist ja nur, dass man die Liebe und das Erwachen von dem Menschen verhindern will.
And the root of it all is just to try and stop the awakening of humanity and love itself.
Und darum ist ja, also nur schon darum ist es ja wichtig, dass wir uns wieder mit dieser Liebe verbinden. So
and that's why it's so important to connect again with love, to be able to feel this again. I wanted to ask you, Christina, you said something so beautiful on last love stream. Remember about that the world has to change, and it is not planned neither by the dark forces nor by the light forces, that life is going to stay the way it has been before that phase.
Mhm.
Can you talk about that again?
Wir sind uns ja einig, dass die Art und Weise, wie wir auf der Erde leben, dass die ja so nicht funktionieren kann.
She says, I think we agree that the way we are living on Earth can't continue the way it does. It is at the moment. It has to change.
Und dann gibt es Strukturen, die sehen das zwar auch so, aber die wollen daraus was Ungutes machen. Und dann gibt es andere, die Lichtenkräfte, und da geht es halt darum, dass wir das, was wir jetzt haben, wie nutzen können, dass wir merken, wir müssen uns ändern, und das geht nur, indem wir uns mehr mit der Liebe verbinden.
And there are structures on Earth that they want to make use of what they have created now for not very good aims, and the light forces want to make use of this phase so we can reconnect ourselves with love and change everything that way.
Weil wenn Menschen Liebe fühlen, dann geht ja alles einfacher.
Because
Also
if people feel the love, everything is going much smoother, much easier.
Und auch wenn die, auch in dieser Phase, wo ja vieles kompliziert ist,
And even in this phase where many things are very complicated,
wenn wir wieder diese Liebe fühlen können, dann geht's ja auch einfacher.
if we can feel that love again, it's much easier. Things are much easier.
I'm having chills all the time. So here it's difficult sometimes to be able to ask the right question, being in such a place. So thank you so much, Christina, for saying what you're saying right now, and obviously Nicola for translating. But obviously you are a gifted being, Christina, and you are a blessing for obviously all of us. And we have hundreds and hundreds of people right now with us. We've had well over 1,000 already watching live right now. So
I want to say hello to our community as well. I wrote a newsletter and I asked them, will you join in today? Because we want to send the love from our hearts to America.
Thank you so much.
This opportunity.
Of course. And also it's funny because I actually reached out to other groups that do work on Christina's works and Christina's teachings. And I reached out to them, and actually they were also very nice and very kind to allow me to share the link of the interview today. So they said also that they were going to also put it out there so people could join. So I think everything is aligned. Everything is aligned today, and again, I'm having chills all the time. So
Thank you.
Of course, thank you. It's we are all in this together, right? We are all in this together. It's the mission of every single person on earth to do what we have to do today, right?
Right.
So the question is, because I would like to share with the audience, not only with the audience that already follows Christina, but with the new audience that is connecting with us today. When you were younger, Christina, how did you feel around other kids, around other young people? How did you feel around them?
Als du jünger warst, wie hast du dich gefühlt mit anderen Kindern, mit anderen Menschen zusammen, als du noch kleiner warst? Als du klein warst.
Also ich kam mir komisch vor, weil ich ja nirgends irgendwie so ganz reinpasste.
Yeah, she felt really strange because she didn't fit in anywhere, really.
Exactly. I have a son that always tells me the same thing. Daddy, I don't fit in. He's now 21 years old, and he's a very special kid too. So, and I would like to actually use what you just said, because it's very important to know we all have kids around us, right? We all have children, and we all have young people around us, and very often they don't fit in for one reason or another, and that's not something wrong. It is what it has to be, right? It's perfect. It has to be like that. We all have a mission, right? And did you, Christina, when you were younger, did you think that you had a higher mission than just yourself and your physical body? Did you already see that you had a larger mission for Earth and for humanity?
Als du jünger warst, wusstest du, oder als du hierher kamst, wusstest du dann, dass du eine Mission hattest für die Erde hier?
Ja, also als ich hier auf die Welt kam, da habe ich zumindest einen Teil von meinem Bewusstsein, also das blieb wie erhalten, das habe ich so nicht vergessen.
She said, yes, when she came here, a part of her consciousness, she never lost it. She brought it right here, so she never went through that veil of forgetting.
Wow.
And Christina, please tell us, because that's so beautiful. I asked her recently, she said there's 2 reasons why she actually came here. The first reason, die erste Grund, warum du daher gekommen bist. Entschuldigung, Schweizerdeutsch. Aber der erste Grund, warum du hierher gekommen bist, war, sagst du uns das mal?
Ja, ich liebe halt die Menschen.
She said because she fell in love with humanity. She loves humans. And then there was something else, you said. Dann gab es noch etwas anderes, was du gesehen hattest, wo du gesagt hast, yes, ich komme.
Also, wie man sagt, man inkarniert, dann sitzt man ja in einer Planungsrunde und plant das.
If you decide to incarnate, you sit in a sort of a round where things are being planned.
Und dann haben wir so über verschiedene Dinge geredet und eines, was ich dann sehen durfte.
And we talked about, she's talking about her spiritual guides, and we talked about various things, and I was allowed to see something.
Also ich habe dann ich habe nicht den Zeitrahmen gesehen, ich weiß nicht, wann das passiert.
I didn't see the frame of time when this would be happening.
Aber ich habe gesehen, dass die Menschheit zwar irgendwann unter einem extremen Druck steht.
But I could see that the humanity was like under an amazing amount of pressure.
Und dass während diesem Druck, da hat man dann überall die Menschen gesehen, die das Licht verankern.
But during this pressure phase, you could see all these light points, all these humans that are anchoring the light here.
Und dann gab es so einen Moment, das sah aus wie, dass die einzelnen Menschen, die das Licht halten, da gab es wie einen Lichtdurchbruch.
And then there was a moment where she could see all the people that were holding the light. There was like a breakthrough of light.
Und also das ging wie durch die Matrix durch. Also
It went right through the matrix.
Das war wie so eine Art, ja, wie ein Durchbruch. Und dann hat man eben gewusst, dass die Menschheit dann diesen Wandel,
and yes, it was like a breakthrough, it's the word she's using, and then one could see that humanity was sort of making this change.
Also zum Positiv.
The change to the positive.
So if you saw that before reincarnating, if you saw that and you still decided to come, oh my God, you are a really brave, you are a really brave lady.
She's absolutely amazing. I know it because I have accompanied her for about 4 years now, and I feel so blessed to be able to be at her side and getting to know her deeper and deeper, and she's a wonderful and amazing being. And very, very, very courageous. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that.
Mutig sind wir ja alle.
She says courageous. We are all courageous. Wir sind alle mutig. Because she always says, say that again. Sie sagt immer etwas. Der Mut, den wir jetzt brauchen.
Aha.
Das sagst du so schön.
Also, ich finde, wenn man sich überlegt, was wir für einen Mut gebraucht haben, dass wir hierher kamen und uns dann überlegen, welchen wir brauchen, dass wir durch diese Zeit kommen, dann kann es wahrscheinlich nicht mehr sein.
So if you think how much courage we all needed to come here to this place, and how much courage we need to get through this phase or through this time now, this courage we need now is never greater than the one we needed to come here.
I always think that we're all here for a reason. I mean, obviously.
Alle hier aus einem Grund.
Exactly, and it's sometimes for everybody who is so attached to our physical life, right? Sometimes it's difficult to find that courage, right? Sometimes it's difficult to have it, but it was very nice to hear from you, Nicola, that you've been with her already 4 years, so you see that courage from Christina all the time, and I would like to take that statement, obviously, to tell the audience that we all have this courage inside of us, right? We all of us have this courage inside of us. We just have to find it. And would it be reasonable to think that we all of us here in the chat, all of us watching this interview now, that they all knew that they were coming here because of this, because of what's happening in the world right now?
Wäre es richtig, die Annahme, dass alle, die jetzt hier zuschauen, die bei diesem Chat dabei sind und überhaupt, dass sie alle aus diesem Grund überhaupt hierher gekommen sind?
Aus welchem Grund?
Ja, um hier etwas zu bewirken, also, weil sie diesen Mut gebraucht haben.
Also es gibt ja...
Dann ist man ja aus einem bestimmten Grund hierher gekommen.
Es gibt ja verschiedene Gründe, warum man inkarniert, aber sehr viele sind hier, weil sie etwas Gutes auf der Erde
There's different reasons
wollen.
for incarnating here, and many people are here because they really want to do something very good here.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more, and that's why all the work that Christina is doing every single day, it's so important to remind everybody of the real potential, right, of the real power.
Also, die Arbeit, die Christina jeden Tag tut, ist so wichtig, weil sie all die Menschen wirklich an ihre wahre Kraft erinnert.
What do you think, Christina, that everybody who's now listening to us, in order to help to make humanity better, what is that thing that maybe you might want to suggest everybody? What could we all do, starting now that we're listening to you? What could we do?
Die wir helfen möchten. Was können wir genau jetzt tun?
Dass wir unserem Herzen folgen und den Mut haben, das zu tun, warum wir hier sind.
To follow our hearts and have the courage to do what we actually came here for.
Und das sieht ja nicht bei jedem Menschen dann gleich aus.
And it doesn't look the same with everybody.
Aber das ist das, was wir tun können, weil wir sind dann wie ein Puzzle, was an der richtigen Stelle in das große Bild reinpasst.
And that's what we can do, and then we're like a piece of a puzzle that's fitting at the right place in the whole puzzle.
Und wenn wir das tun, wenn wir unserem Herzen folgen, selbst wenn Ängste dabei sind oder unser Verstand denkt, wir seien verrückt.
And if we follow our hearts, and even if there's some fears or if our mind thinks we're crazy.
Aber wenn wir das trotzdem tun, dann ist das ja auch mutig.
But if we do it nevertheless, it's very courageous too.
Und ich denke nicht, dass wenn wir etwas tun, was mutig ist, ich denke nicht, dass wir uns dann unbedingt auch mutig fühlen müssen. Also ich habe das nie.
Sometimes if you do something that needs courage, we don't even feel courageous. And she said, but I never have that feeling.
It's so true. It's so true. So yeah. I think courage is one of the very important things we underestimate of ourselves, that we already have that courage. We already have it.
Immer wieder, dass wir uns gar nicht Gedanken machen über Mut.
And also, I think that also there's a little bit of fear, right? There's a little bit of fear of being courageous. There's a little bit of fear of being ourselves. Don't you think?
Wieder ein bisschen Angst, mutig zu sein oder sie selbst zu sein.
Don't you think sometimes that we are fearful of being who we really are?
Glaubst du, dass wir Angst haben davor, das zu sein, was wir wirklich sind?
Ich denke, einige schon, und das hat vielleicht zum einen damit zu tun, dass es für uns wie unbekannt ist, dass wir dann...
I think some of us, yes, and it might have to do with the fact that it's sort of unknown to us.
Und unsere Gesellschaft gibt uns ja auch vor, wie man sein sollte.
And our
und
society
wie man nicht
tells us
sein sollte.
how we should be and how we should not be.
Und das haben wir ja nur schon in unseren Zellen auch drin.
And we have it right in our cell memory.
There is something that we spoke a little bit about a few minutes ago, and I would like to go back to that point, which is education. You just mentioned society, right? You mentioned society.
Also,
I personally am
gesprochen, er möchte etwas über die Erziehung fragen.
I think that we all have like children, let's say children from anywhere from 0 to 20 years old, right? Around us. Okay, we have kids or we have nieces. We have kids around us.
Also wir haben alle Kinder um uns herum irgendwie, ob wir jetzt Kinder haben oder Enkel oder Freunde oder.
And I really think that we have to do something with education, with the education of the children. We have to do something. We have to change it.
Dass wir etwas machen müssen in Bezug auf die Bildung oder wie man das nennen möchte, der Kinder.
Ja, weil das, also die meisten Schulsysteme, die vom Staat kommen, die sind ja überhaupt nicht so ausgelegt, dass Kinder sich selbst bleiben können und die Verbindung zu ihrer Seele bewahren
Yes,
können.
because usually the school systems that are introduced by the state are not made or they don't allow kids to stay themselves or keep the connections to their souls.
Exactly. So if you could change like this, if you could change the educational system
etwas ändern könntest?
in the world, what would you do? If you could change the educational system for all the children in the world,
für alle Kinder in der Welt, überall.
Where would you start? Where would you start?
Was ist das Erste, was du tun würdest?
Also ich denke, es gibt kein Schulsystem, was für alle Kinder passend ist.
I think
Kinder
there's no
sind
school system
individuell.
that fits for all children the same.
Ich denke, es ist einfach wichtig, dass die Kinder ihre Begeisterung und die Freude behalten können, selbst wenn sie auf eine Art und Weise Dinge lernen, wie Erwachsene sich vielleicht gar nicht vorstellen können, dass sie sowas lernen
The most
können.
important thing is that the children can keep their enthusiasm and their joy of learning things, even if if they're learning in a way that adults can't even imagine that this is learning.
Und wir lernen ja ständig. Also
And
Lernen
we're
ist
learning
nicht auf
all the time.
Schule begrenzt.
And it's not just limited to school in the very sense.
So then it means that the whole concept of learning, we as adults, we have it wrong. Correct?
Dann bedeutet das also, dass wir Erwachsenen das ganze Konzept des Lernens, dass das irgendwie bei uns falsch
Also bei sehr vielen, es gibt ja auch Erwachsene, die sich mit anderen Lernformen beschäftigen und Homeschooling machen oder...
Yes, she agrees with many of us, but there's adults that are now doing a lot of beautiful things with new forms of learning and new schools. Yes.
Yeah, we have a lot of people watching us. Again, we are here with Christina von Dreien, and we are with Nicola, who's so kind with us that she's translating from English to Spanish. I want to reiterate, English and German, my apologies. I'm originally from Spain, that's why I made the mistake.
Next time we do English, Spanish.
Exactly. I wanted to thank everybody for obviously being so patient, for waiting for the translation, because I know sometimes can be a little bit tedious, but so thank you obviously for everybody being here. I wanted to ask Christina about she talked about how where she was before she reincarnated, and I wanted to go to what happens when we die, right? Because I think that in general, we as human beings, we are really, really fearful of dying. What is really
was
death?
geschieht, wenn wir sterben, weil viele Menschen Angst haben, ja, wenn sie sterben.
Also dann geht einfach unsere Seele, unser Bewusstsein aus dem Körper und
Our soul and our consciousness are leaving the body.
Und naja, dann leben wir dort weiter. Also,
and then we live on in the other world.
Also es gibt verschiedene Ebenen und
there's different dimensions or levels.
Und nicht jede Seele kommt auch vom gleichen Ort. Also
and not all the souls come from the same place. So.
Aber wenn wir sterben, dann werden wir ja auch abgeholt von unserer geistigen Führung oder von anderen, die schon vor uns gegangen sind.
But when we die, we get sort of picked up by our friends and our spiritual guides.
Natürlich kann es sein, dass wir irgendwo dann festhängen in bestimmten Dimensionen. Das hat aber nicht damit zu tun, dass wir nicht begleitet werden, sondern einfach, weil das Bewusstsein, was man auf der Erde hat, das ist ja dann nicht sofort erleuchtet, wenn es aus dem Körper geht.
So, sorry.
Yeah,
it can happen that we get stuck in certain dimensions when we leave the body, and that has to do with our own consciousness, that we are not, when we die, we are not enlightened at the same moment.
Wenn wir unseren Körper verlassen haben, dann sind wir schon wieder aus diesem Schleier des Vergessens raus und sind wieder bei unserem höheren Selbst und können verstehen, also haben diesen höheren Überblick, den wir vorher nicht hatten.
But when we die, we go through that veil of forgetting. We're sort of go through it, and we are reunited with our higher self, and we have a different view to Earth and our past life on Earth.
Wir sind ja alle sicher schon 1000 und abertausendmal gestorben.
And we all have been dying thousands and thousands of times, for sure.
So I guess that we obviously most of us don't remember that phase, right? When we were in another dimension.
Erinnern sich ja nicht an die Phase, als wir gestorben sind das letzte Mal.
Stimmt.
True.
Exactly. So is there something that we can do to try to remember?
Gibt es etwas, was wir tun können, um uns daran zu erinnern?
Dass man sich an frühere Leben erinnert.
You mean that remembering past lives, or?
Yes.
Or?
Also man kann schon gewisse Dinge tun, aber ich bin der Meinung, dass es nicht unbedingt nötig ist, genau zu wissen, wer man jetzt früher war.
Yes, you can do certain things, but my opinion is that it's not really necessary to really know about your past lives.
Es gibt schon Dinge, für die müssen wir dann, also um die aufzulösen, weil wir nehmen ja auch Dinge aus früheren Inkarnationen in die jetzige mit. Und wenn da Dinge dabei sind, die wir auflösen möchten und die aber nur aufgelöst werden können, wenn wir uns an etwas aus unserem früheren Leben erinnern.
There is sometimes we bring things from past lives, and if we want to dissolve them, and sometimes did you want to say it's only possible when we remember that past life?
es muss nicht unbedingt das ganze frühere Leben
It
sein.
doesn't
Es
have
reicht,
to,
wenn es
yeah.
bestimmte Situationen sind.
It can just be that one particular situation that has to be remembered, but it's not always necessary.
Und also wenn wir sowas haben, was wir nur dadurch lösen können, dann bekommen wir diese Erinnerung auch.
If we have something that can only be dissolved that way, we get this memory to work with it.
Excellent. Well, we're coming to the end of the conversation today, and I wanted just to ask you the final question. Maybe is where, if people want to know more about you, Christina, or about Nicola. Nicola, she said before, she's been supporting and helping and being a friend with Christina at least for the last 4 years, which is a long time already. So what's the best way to reach out to you?
Er möchte wissen, was die beste Art ist, dich zu erreichen, wenn man mehr wissen will.
Meine Webseite.
It's her website, and we are starting to, it's www.christinavondreien.ch, and we are starting to do all the webinars, which are called Love Streams. They are getting an English translation. They can be purchased as well. There's YouTube excerptions with English subtitles. More and more of that we are doing. And I would like to clarify something from last time, because you said Christina's an author, and she's not actually an author. She's a speaker. She's giving seminars, and actually her mother wrote the first 2 books. There's 4 books, and the first 2 books are about Christina's amazing story. Speaking of courage, you find it in there from the view of the mother, and it's a very touching story, also about the development of the mother herself, how it changed her own consciousness. And it's a beautiful, it's a goose-pimply book, actually.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I wanted to clarify that, because
no, thank you, of course.
Christina doesn't write the books herself, and the second 2 books are transcriptions from her seminars, because once she's getting into her flow when she's speaking, and there's no translator at her side, always interrupting her. Also ich habe nur eben präzisiert, Christina ist nicht selbst der Autor, sondern ihre Mutter hat beide ersten Bücher geschrieben über sie, über ihre ganz spezielle, wunderbare Geschichte. Und die anderen beiden Bücher sind über ihre Seminare, also Mitschriften von ihren Seminaren.
Excellent. Well, thank you. I don't know if would you like to add something else, anything else before you go?
Möchtest du noch was sagen?
Nein.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Well, again, thank you very much, Christina. It's funny. Let me share a funny story today. Actually, it looks like the set that Nicola and Christina are in right now. It's like the perfect set with this wonderful sign behind her that says "Love You More." But to be honest, only a few minutes before the hour that we scheduled for this conversation, unfortunately, we almost didn't make it. It was really like they reached that place. You should have seen us before. Exactly. They reached that place literally. They reached that place like 1 or 2 minutes before the hour that the conversation was scheduled, which is amazing. And obviously everything happens for a reason, and everything is aligned. So thank you very much again, Nicola. Thank you, Christina. It's a pleasure. Zutsehen again, both of you. Okay, so hopefully I will be keep on learning some German terms and words, listening to you every single week. So thank you for being with us today, okay?
Ich übersetze noch ganz, ganz kurz für die deutschen Zuschauer. Angela hat nur gerade gesagt, wir sind wirklich auf den letzten Drücker hier angekommen, sozusagen 1 Minute bevor alles angefangen hat, und nichts passiert ohne Grund. Und ja.
Exactly. So danke sehr. I'm really looking at the chat. So danke schön. Gracias. Vielen Dank. Thank you very much to everybody who was here with us today.
Wir danken. Ich möchte an dieser Stelle auch wirklich sagen, danke allen, die zuschauen, weil jedes Mal, wenn wir das tun, verstärken wir diese Liebe, die unsere Welt jetzt so braucht. Das sagt nämlich Christina immer. Ich spreche ihr nur nach.
Yeah, I always make a joke when I am with German people or German-speaking people. I always make the same joke that I am, Engel. Ich bin Engel aus dem Himmel, right? I always say the same thing. It's funny because someone was saying the exact same thing right now in the chat. So again, thank you so much to everybody. And here at Expansion Network here in the US and worldwide, we have conversations worldwide every single week. Here, our main goal is to accelerate the consciousness of humanity. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here with us today. Thank you for allowing us to do this, both in German and in English. And we hope to see you soon again next week. Thank you for being with us. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you for the invitation. And I hope I am getting better at translating.
Oh, absolutely.
Every single time.
Oh, absolutely. You are. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.